Far away in the deep silence of space, there was a shining alien city. Its towers were tall, its machines bright, and its people proud. They believed they had mastered life and death. But inside the grand alien hospital, fear had taken control. The queen was dying. She was young, but her skin had grown pale, her eyes dull, her breath weak. Around her, the alien doctors spoke in low voices, their faces full of worry. Her body is shutting down. One doctor whispered. We have tried everything, another replied. There is no chance, the oldest doctor said firmly. Her life is ending. The words spread through the halls like fire. The people outside the hospital cried. The queen was more than a ruler. She was the heart of their world. Without her, who would guide them? Who would protect them? The doctors tried machine after machine. They used glowing crystals, strange medicines, and beams of energy, but nothing worked. The queen lay still, her heartbeat fading. Her mother, the elder queen, stood near her bed. Her voice shook as she asked, Is there truly nothing left? Nothing at all. The doctors bowed their heads. We are sorry. We have no cure. For a moment, silence filled the room. Then one young healer spoke carefully. There is one story I have heard. A story of a being not from our kind. The others turned to him, confused. What are you saying? I speak of a human, the healer answered. A creature from the blue planet. They say humans survive when no one else can. They have a will, a fire, something we cannot understand. The room grew tense. A human. The elder doctor laughed bitterly. They are weak. Their bodies break easily. Their science is primitive. What can such a creature do that we cannot? But the young healer stood tall. Still, I have heard stories. Humans heal not only with tools but with something deeper. They do not give up. They fight even when hope is gone. The elder queen's eyes filled with tears. If there is even a small chance, bring this human. And so, a message was sent across the stars. A call for help, desperate, hopeless, and full of doubt. Far away in the quiet dark of space, a small ship drifted near the alien world. Inside it was a human. He was not a warrior, not a soldier, not a great scientist. He was simple, his clothes worn, his eyes calm, his heart steady. He had seen pain before. He had seen death before. And he had learned one thing. Never give up until the very last breath. When his ship landed, the aliens stared at him with disbelief. This is the human? One guard asked. He looks fragile, another muttered. Can this soft creature save our queen? The human said nothing. He only walked forward, his steps slow but strong. His eyes looked not at the machines, not at the guards, but at the queen lying on the bed. He stood beside her. For a moment, the room was silent. Everyone watched. The human touched her hand. Her skin was cold. Her breath was shallow. But he did not step back. He whispered almost to himself, still alive, still fighting. The alien doctor scoffed. What is he doing? He has no tools, no medicine. This is foolish. He cannot help her. But the human ignored them. He did not rush. He did not panic. Instead, he stayed close, listening, feeling, watching every small sign of life. Something in his calmness spread through the room. The queen's breathing was weak but steady. Her fingers moved just a little as if responding to his touch. The young healer gasped. Look, she hears him. The elder doctor shook his head. It is only chance, nothing more. But the people, the guards, even the elder queen leaned closer. They felt it too, something invisible, something powerful. The human spoke softly, his words simple. You are not alone. Do not give up. Fight. No one understood why his voice mattered. No machine could copy it, no drug could create it. Yet in that moment the queen's heart gave a stronger beat. Just once, but it was enough. The aliens gasped. The doctors stepped back, their pride shaken. What? What is happening? One whispered. The human looked up at them. His eyes were steady, filled with quiet fire. You said no chance, he said. But I say, there is always a chance. And with those words, the story began. The queen's life was slipping away. Alien doctors had lost all hope. But now, a fragile human stood in their grand hospital, daring to do what no one believed possible. Could this strange being truly bring life where death had already won? The alien city had never seen such a strange visitor. Crowds gathered around the hospital gates when the human entered. He looked so different, so small compared to the tall, strong alien guards. His skin had no armor, no shining scales. His hands looked soft, fragile, Many aliens whispered among themselves. This is the creature who claims he can help? He looks weaker than a child. Surely this is a joke. But the human did not answer. He walked slowly through the grand halls, his footsteps echoing on the silver floor. His eyes were calm but sharp. He did not stare at the glowing machines or the shining weapons. His focus was only on one thing, the Queen. When he entered her chamber, the room grew silent. The alien doctors stood stiff, their pride heavy on their shoulders. The elder Queen watched with suspicion, and the young healer, the one who believed in the human, waited with hope in his eyes. The Queen lay weak, her breathing shallow. She looked like a fading flame. The human stepped closer and gently placed his hand on her forehead. His voice was soft but steady. She is fighting. I can feel it. She has not given up, the doctors frowned. Ridiculous. He does not even check her with our scanners. He ignores our knowledge. What arrogance, but the human ignored their words. He pulled a small cloth from his pocket and dipped it in water. Slowly, he wiped the sweat from the Queen's face. It was a simple act, something so basic that even a child could do it. Yet in that moment, the Queen's breathing eased, just slightly. The young healer's eyes widened. Her body, it relaxes, the elder doctor snapped. Nonsense. This means nothing, but the elder Queen leaned forward. She saw something in her daughter's face, a flicker of peace, as if the human's touch gave her comfort. The human sat down beside the bed. He did not move like a doctor. He moved like a guardian, patient and careful. He whispered gently, "You are not alone. I am here. Breathe, just breathe." The Queen's eyes trembled. For a moment they almost opened. Gasps filled the room. She moved. Did you see that? No. It cannot be. The human closed his eyes for a moment. He remembered Earth, his home, where people often faced death without machines, where survival sometimes depended only on will and hope. Humans had lived through storms, plagues, and endless wars, and yet they had always risen again. He knew this alien Queen was slipping away, but he also knew something else. As long as there was breath, there was a chance. He placed his hand over her heart, feeling the faint beats. "Stay," he whispered. "You are stronger than this. Do not let go." The alien doctor scoffed louder now. "This is foolish. He gives words, not medicine. Our Queen needs science, not superstition. End this charade before it is too late." But the elder Queen raised her hand. Silence. Let him try. For the first time, the doctors obeyed. Their pride cracked just a little. The human then turned to the healers and spoke. "Your machines fight her body, but her spirit, her will, is breaking. I will remind her why she must live." The aliens looked at him, confused. "What is spirit?" one muttered. "Is it not just a myth?" Another scoffed, but the human's eyes burned with quiet fire. "Spirit is the reason you stand when your body says fall. It is the reason you fight when defeat seems certain. It is the reason life continues." As he spoke, the Queen's lips moved, weak, trembling, almost impossible to hear, but still words. "Alive," she whispered. The room froze. The elder Queen covered her mouth in shock. The doctors stared, unable to speak. And the young healer cried out, "She hears him." She responds. The human leaned closer, his voice calm and steady. "Yes, you are alive. Do not forget it. Do not surrender." The Queen's heartbeat gave another strong thump, louder than before. The machines around her beeped in surprise. The alien doctors finally stepped back. "This is impossible. No science explains this. How can words give life?" The human looked at them but said nothing. He was not here to prove himself. He was here for her. He stayed at her side for hours. He wiped her brow, whispered strength into her ear, and never looked away. The aliens one by one stopped mocking him. They watched in silence, their hearts torn between disbelief and awe. By the time night fell, the Queen's breathing had grown steadier. Her heartbeat, once faint, now beat with more power. The elder Queen touched the human's shoulder. Her voice shook. "What are you doing? What is this power?" The human finally spoke to her. "It is not power. It is something all humans carry. We do not give up. Even when the world says no chance, we keep going. That is how we live. That is how we survive." The elder Queen's eyes filled with tears. She looked at her daughter, then at the strange human before her. For the first time, hope lit her face. And so, the story of the human healer spread through the alien city. The people whispered, not with doubt now, but with wonder. Perhaps he can save her. Perhaps the human is different. Perhaps there is hope after all. The queen was still weak, still close to death, but something had changed. The human had touched her spirit and her body responded. The alien doctors had no explanation, no logic for this miracle, and yet deep inside fear began to grow. If this fragile human succeeds, what does that mean about everything they believed? The alien hospital was silent. Everyone watched the human. He sat beside the queen as if he had always belonged there. No machines, no glowing crystals, no advanced scanners surrounded him. Just his hands, his calm eyes, and his steady voice. The alien doctors whispered to each other. He is wasting time. She cannot last the night. This human will only give false hope. But still they did not stop him. The elder queen's command kept them quiet. The human leaned close to the queen. He studied her breath, weak but still moving. He felt her pulse, faint but present. He noticed small details the others ignored. The way her lips trembled, the way her fingers curled as if clinging to something unseen. He whispered, "You are still fighting. I see it. I will fight with you." The queen stirred, though her eyes remained closed. Her chest rose a little stronger. The young healer gasped. She hears him again. The human pulled out something simple from his small bag, a roll of herbs, dried leaves, and cloth. The aliens laughed. "This is a joke. He brings plants to cure the queen?" Primitive nonsense, but the human was not bothered. He crushed the herbs, mixed them with water, and made a paste. Carefully, he placed it on the queen's chest where her heart struggled to beat. The air filled with a strange smell, sharp, earthy, unfamiliar to the aliens. The elder doctor sneered. "Our science is far beyond this. These weeds cannot heal her." The human looked at him calmly. "Your science failed. Let me try my way." Hours passed. The queen's body twitched, weak but restless as if awakening. Her face, pale as stone, slowly gained a faint color. "She moves," whispered one guard. "Her skin is warmer," said the young healer. The human stayed beside her, never leaving. He spoke gently like a brother to a sister. "Do not give up. You have a kingdom waiting. You have people who believe in you. They need you." And for the first time, the queen's eyes fluttered open, just a little, only for a second. But the room exploded in shock. She opened her eyes. "It is not possible." She was gone. But now, the elder queen fell to her knees, her hands trembling. Tears streamed down her face, but the doctors were furious. Their pride was breaking apart. "This cannot be real. It is trickery. He uses luck, not skill. We must stop him before he causes harm." They rushed forward, but the elder queen blocked them. Her voice was strong now. "Enough, you had your chance. Now let him finish." The doctors stepped back, their faces hard with anger, but inside, fear was growing. The human leaned closer, whispering again, "Stay with me. You are strong. Take one breath more, then another. Keep going." The queen's chest rose, shakier but stronger. Her eyes flickered again, this time staying open longer. She looked at the human, weak, confused, but alive. She whispered, her voice like the sound of wind. "Who are you?" The room froze. The human smiled faintly. "A friend." Her lips trembled into the smallest smile before her eyes closed again. But her breathing stayed steady. The alien healers stared at their machines in disbelief. Her life signs were improving. Slowly, impossibly, she was stabilizing. "This is not science," one muttered. "This is madness," another said. Yet none could deny what they saw with their own eyes. The human sat back, tired but calm. He spoke quietly to the elder queen. "She is not safe yet. Her body is still weak, but her will is strong. She wants to live." The elder queen grabbed his hands. Her voice shook. "You have done more in one night than our doctors did in months. How is this possible? What magic is this?" The human shook his head. "It is no magic. It is human persistence. We do not accept no chance. Not while life remains." The aliens looked at him puzzled. For them, life and death were ruled by machines and numbers. If the numbers said death, then death it was. But this human defied those numbers. He fought in a way they could not understand. The queen's heartbeat grew louder on the monitors. Her body no longer looked like a fading shadow. She was still weak, still fragile, but alive. Truly alive. The young healer's eyes shone with tears. He gives her more than medicine. He gives her hope, and that was the truth. Something invisible, Something no machine could measure was flowing from the human to the queen. But just as hope filled the room, danger returned. The queen suddenly gasped, her body shaking. Her breath stuttered. The machines wailed in alarm. "She is crashing again," the elder doctor shouted. "Her body cannot take it." The human gripped her hand tightly. His eyes burned with determination. "No, not yet. You came this far. You will not stop now." He pressed on her chest gently, firmly, urging her heart to fight. He whispered with every push, "Live, live, live." The aliens watched in terror and awe. This fragile human was wrestling with death itself, without machines, without power, only with his hands and his will. Minutes felt like hours. The queen's body convulsed once, twice, then steadied. Her breathing returned, slow but firm. Her heart, weak but present, kept beating. The alarms quieted. The silence after was louder than thunder. Everyone stared at the human. His clothes were damp with sweat, his hands trembling from effort. But his eyes shone with fire. He looked at them all and said, "Impossible? No, only difficult." The room erupted, not in mockery this time, but in stunned silence, broken only by the elder queen's sobbing cry, "He has done the impossible." The queen had opened her eyes, spoken, and fought death itself. The human's strange methods had saved her, at least for now. But the aliens were not ready to accept this. If a human could succeed where their greatest doctors had failed, what did it mean for their proud civilization? The queen's chamber was filled with a strange silence. Moments ago her body had been still, her breath nearly gone. Now she lay alive. Her chest rose and fell in rhythm. Her heartbeat echoed on the monitors. And all of it, because of a human. The alien doctors stood frozen. Their minds, filled with logic and pride, could not accept what they had seen. "This is a trick," one doctor hissed. "No creature this weak could do what we could not," another whispered. "He must have hidden some strange technology," said a third, but the elder queen silenced them with a single glare. "You saw the same thing I did. My daughter breathes because of him. No trick, no machine. Only him." The room divided. Half the council stared with suspicion, their faces sharp with anger. The other half whispered with awe, their eyes wide with hope. The young healer who had first spoken of humans stepped forward. His voice was shaking. "You mocked me when I said humans hold something we do not understand. But look, he proves it now. He heals not with tools but with spirit." The elder doctor shouted back, "Nonsense. Spirit cannot be measured. Spirit cannot cure. This human is dangerous. He must leave before he destroys her completely." The young healer stood his ground. "If he leaves, she dies. You know this." The chamber trembled with the weight of their argument. Guards shifted uneasily, their hands gripping weapons they were not sure they would use. The alien counselors outside the room shouted, demanding answers. The people wanted hope, but fear still clung to their hearts. And through it all, the human remained calm. He sat beside the queen, holding her hand as if nothing else mattered. He did not look at the angry doctors or the frightened guards. His focus was only on her. The queen stirred again. Her eyes, weak but alive, opened. She looked around slowly, confusion in her gaze. Finally, her eyes found the human's face. "You stayed," she whispered. The human nodded. His voice was soft. "I promised I would not leave." Her lips curved into the faintest smile. "You fight for me?" The elder queen rushed forward, tears falling down her cheeks. "Yes, child. He fights when we could not." The young healer whispered to the crowd, "She speaks. She lives." The alien doctors looked at each other, shaken. Their proud faces cracked with doubt. For centuries they had ruled life and death with their advanced science. And now, a fragile human showed them something they could not explain. But pride does not break easily. The elder doctor's eyes burned with fury. "This cannot continue. If we allow this human to stay, our people will lose faith in us. They will believe we are weak." The elder queen turned sharply, her voice sharp as a blade. "You speak of pride while my daughter lies between life and death? Your science failed. His will succeeded. Tell me, doctor, what matters more, your pride or her life?" The doctor fell silent. His lips pressed tight, but his eyes still burned. Meanwhile, outside the hospital, word spread fast. Crowds gathered in the streets. Whispers filled the air like a storm. "They say the queen has opened her eyes. They say she speaks again. They say a human saved her." The people, once drowning in sorrow, now felt the fire of hope. But with hope came fear. Some cheered the human as a miracle. Others called him a danger. a trickster who challenged the wisdom of their kind. Inside the chamber, the queen's breathing grew stronger. Her skin regained faint color. She clung to the human's hand as if it was the only thing anchoring her to life. The human leaned close, whispering again, "You're not done yet. You will rise. You will live." Her eyes, filled with weakness but also light, stared back at him. She whispered, "I believe you." The elder queen's tears became a smile. She turned to the doctors. "Look at her. Look and accept what is before your eyes." But the elder doctor's pride was too strong. He spoke coldly. "If she survives, it will not be because of him. It will be because of her own strength. This human is nothing more than a distraction." The human finally raised his head and looked directly at the doctor. His voice was calm but sharp as iron. "Then let her strength grow. But do not forget, sometimes strength needs a spark. Sometimes survival begins with hope." The young healer nodded fiercely. "Yes, hope, that is what he gives her. That is what we never gave." The counselors muttered among themselves. Divisions grew sharper. Half wanted to honor the human. Half wanted to banish him. The elder queen lifted her hand. Silence fell instantly. "Listen to me," she said. "For centuries we believed science alone ruled life. But today I have seen something else. This human carries a truth we have forgotten. If you cannot see it, then you are blind." The human bowed his head slightly but did not smile. He was not here for glory. He was here for her. The queen's voice, weak but steady, broke the silence again. "Let him stay." Gasps filled the chamber. The queen had spoken. Her word was law. The elder doctor's face twisted with rage, but he could not speak against his ruler. The council bowed their heads reluctantly. The guards lowered their weapons. The human stayed by her side, holding her hand. And in that moment, though she was still weak, though danger still lingered, one truth was clear. The queen had chosen the human. The alien city was divided, half filled with wonder, half burning with anger. The queen lived because of a human, and she wanted him by her side. But as hope spread through the people, so did fear and jealousy. The real battle was only beginning. For the first time in weeks, the alien palace felt alive with hope. The queen breathed with more strength. Her eyes opened now and then, always searching for the human who never left her side. Outside the hospital, crowds filled the streets. Songs of joy echoed. "Our queen lives. The stranger has saved her." But hope is fragile, and in the shadows, doubt still grew. Inside the chamber, the human kept working. He gave the queen simple herbs, small sips of water, and words that seemed stronger than medicine. "You have survived so far," he whispered. "Now take one step more." Her hand trembled in his, but she squeezed back just enough to show she heard him. The elder queen smiled through tears. "She is coming back to us." The young healer bowed to the human. "You give her strength we never understood." But the elder doctor stood apart, his face like stone. His pride had been wounded, and pride does not heal quickly. "This human is dangerous," he muttered. "He weakens our faith in science. If he fails, he takes us all into despair." That night, the human stayed at her bedside again. The queen slept peacefully for the first time in many days. But near dawn, a terrible sound shook the room. Alarms from the life monitors. The queen's body convulsed. Her breathing faltered. Her skin grew cold. The doctors rushed forward in panic. "She is collapsing again. Her body is rejecting his crude methods. This proves it. We must take control." The elder queen cried out, "Save her!" The human pressed his hand over the queen's chest, listening to the failing rhythm of her heart. His voice was urgent now, yet steady. "Stay with me. Do not leave." But her body only grew weaker. The doctors pulled at the human's arms. "Step aside. You have done enough harm." He pushed them away with surprising strength. His eyes burned with fire. "No, I will not stop. She is still here." The machines screamed louder, their lights flashing red. The guards shifted nervously. The counselors outside the chamber began to shout, "She is dying again. The human has failed. Remove him before it is too late." The elder queen fell to her knees beside the bed, tears streaming. "Please, do not take her from me again." The human closed his eyes. His memories rushed back, times when his own people faced death with nothing but will. He remembered soldiers pulling comrades from battle, mothers fighting for their children through hunger, entire villages rising again after disasters. Humans were fragile, but humans were also stubborn. They refused to die quietly. He whispered not just to her but to himself, We never stop fighting. Not until the last breath is gone. He began pressing on her chest, forcing her heart to beat, whispering with each push, "Live, live, live." The queen gasped weakly, her body fighting against the pull of death. Her fingers twitched, reaching for his hand. The young healer cried out, "She responds. Look, she fights." But the elder doctor shouted louder, his voice filled with fury. "She is in pain. Stop this madness. If she survives, it will not be because of him, it will be by chance." The human ignored him. Sweat dripped from his face, but his eyes never left hers. "You are stronger than this," he whispered. "Take one more breath. Just one more." For a long moment, it seemed hopeless. The queen's chest was still. Her eyes closed. The machines flatlined. The crowd outside fell silent. The doctors smirked with bitter triumph. "It is over," one said coldly. "We warned you," another added. The elder queen collapsed against the bed, sobbing. But the human did not let go. He leaned close, his voice breaking but firm. "No, you are not gone. You are not finished," and then, suddenly, the monitor beeped. Once, then again. The queen gasped, drawing in air with a sharp, painful breath. Her chest rose. Her heartbeat returned, weak but steady. The entire chamber erupted with shock. She breathes. She returns again. "This is impossible." The elder queen clutched her daughter's hand and wept. "Thank the stars. You live." The doctors stepped back, their pride shattered. The young healer shouted in joy. He brought her back again, twice from the edge of death. But the human's face was grave. He knew the truth. This was not victory. This was only survival for one more day. Her body was still fragile, her spirit still wavering. He whispered softly to her ear, "You must keep fighting. I will not stop, and neither will you." The council outside grew restless. Some demanded the human be honored as a savior. Others demanded he be cast out as a fraud who played with death. The elder queen silenced them all with her voice. "He stays. He fights for her when none of you could." But even as her words spread, shadows lingered. The elder doctor's eyes narrowed with anger. Pride had turned into hatred. He would not accept being defeated by a human, and the people outside, though full of hope, also felt fear. If this fragile creature could do what their greatest science could not, what else were humans capable of? The queen had been pulled back from death again, but her body was still weak and her life hung by a thread. The alien world was divided more than ever. Some praised the human as a miracle, others plotted against him. And in the shadows, the greatest test of his will was yet to come. The queen's chamber was heavy with silence. She had collapsed, then returned. She had walked on the edge of death, pulled back only by the human's stubborn will. Now she lay still, breathing faintly, alive, but fragile. The alien doctors stood with crossed arms, their faces dark with pride and anger. They wanted her failure, for only her death could prove the human wrong. The young healer, however, stood with wide eyes full of hope. "She still breathes. Her spirit holds," he whispered. The elder queen stayed beside her daughter's bed, her hand never leaving the queen's. And always, close at her side, the human sat, silent, calm. And patient night fell. The chamber glowed with the soft hum of alien machines. The guards stood watch, but their eyes often drifted toward the human. None could explain how he had done it, yet none could deny what they had seen. The human leaned closer to the queen again. His voice was soft, almost like a lullaby. "You are not done. You will rise. You will live." The queen's eyelids fluttered, her lips trembling. Weak words escaped her mouth. "Why, and do you fight? For me?" The human's eyes softened. "Because life is worth fighting for. Always." Her chest rose in a deeper breath as if his words entered her very soul. Morning came. The chamber filled with counselors and doctors, summoned to witness the queen's condition. Many expected her to have weakened again. Some even hoped for it, eager to call the human a fraud. The elder doctor sneered as he entered. Let us see if his foolishness has kept her alive another day. But what they saw silenced even their bitter tongues. The queen was sitting up, her body trembled with weakness. But her eyes were open, truly open for the first time in many weeks. Her gaze was steady, her breathing calm. Gasps filled the room. "She sits. She is awake." This cannot be. The elder queen wept openly, falling to her knees beside her daughter. "My child." "You return to me," the young healer cried out in joy. "This is no trick. This is real." The queen turned her head slowly, her eyes finding the human. You gave me life again. The human shook his head softly. No, I only reminded you not to let go. You chose to fight. You chose to live. The room trembled with whispers. Guards looked at each other, uncertain whether to bow or stand frozen. The people outside the hospital cheered as the news spread like fire. The queen lives. The queen rises. But the alien doctors, especially the elder doctor, burned with shame. Their science, their knowledge, their pride, all had failed. A human, fragile and small, had done what they could not. This is dangerous, the elder doctor muttered under his breath. If we accept this, then what are we? What worth is our wisdom? His words were drowned out by the people's cries of joy outside. The city itself shook with celebration. For the first time in months, hope had returned. Inside the chamber, the queen asked again, her voice stronger now. What power do you carry, human? Why does your touch heal when their machines fail? The human's answer was simple. It is not power. It is persistence. My people have survived plagues, wars, and endless struggles. We are weak in body but strong in will. We do not stop. Not for pain, not for death. We fight until the last breath, and sometimes that is enough. The aliens stared at him as though hearing a truth they had never known. For them, life was a calculation of numbers and chances. But for this human, life was not a number. It was a decision. The queen smiled faintly. Her voice carried across the chamber, soft but unshakable. Then your will is my cure, and your will has saved me. The council fell to their knees. The guards bowed their heads. Even those who had doubted now trembled with awe. The elder queen rose tall and declared, Let it be known. Our daughter lives because of this human. Where our science failed, his spirit triumphed. Today we learn that true strength is not only in machines but in the heart. The chamber erupted with cries of agreement. The sound carried out into the streets where thousands of voices rose together. The human saved the queen. The human brought her back. The alien world would never forget this day. But in the shadows, the elder doctor's fury only grew. His pride, shattered before the entire city, turned into hatred. He swore silently, This human will not stand above us. If he lives, our power dies. Back in the chamber, the queen struggled to her feet. She was weak, shaking, but she stood. The crowd gasped as she raised her hand. I was dead, she said softly, but now I live. And I live because of a human. The human bowed his head humbly. No, you live because you chose to fight. Her eyes sparkled, filled with gratitude. Then let my people learn from your kind. Let us remember what you have shown us. Never surrender, even when hope is gone. The queen had risen, alive and stronger than before. The people celebrated the human as a savior. But while hope filled the city, shadows of jealousy and anger stirred in secret. The miracle was real, but so was the danger that followed. The alien world was never the same again. Where once the people had walked with heavy hearts, now their voices filled the streets with joy. Bells rang in the towers, banners flew in the wind, and everywhere the same words were spoken. The queen lives. The human saved her. But inside the palace, the air was heavier. The council chamber filled with arguments. Pride, fear, and hope clashed like storm winds. Some counselors cried out, Honor the human! He is a savior! Others spat back, He is a threat! If one fragile creature can outshine our science, what will the people think of us? The elder doctor stood tall, his face twisted with bitterness. If we give him glory, we lose our power. If the people trust humans, what need have they of us? The young healer stepped forward, his voice firm. You speak of power while our queen breathes because of him. You would rather she die than admit your failure. The chamber roared with anger and division. Only when the elder queen raised her hand did silence return. Her voice was calm but sharp as a blade. The truth is simple. My daughter lives. And she lives because of the human. Deny it if you wish, but the people already know. That evening, the queen walked slowly to her balcony, supported by the human. She was weak, her steps trembling, but the sight of her standing brought tears to thousands of eyes below. The crowd roared as she raised her hand. My people, she said, her voice carrying across the city, I stand before you alive. They told you there was no chance. They told you my life had ended. But they were wrong. I am here because a human refused to let me go. The people cheered so loudly the very walls shook. Many shouted the human's name, though most did not even know it. To them, he was simply the human who would not give up. The queen turned to him before the crowd. You gave me life. You gave me hope. I will not let you walk away now. The human bowed his head. I only did what I could. The rest was your choice, she smiled. Then I choose more. You will stay, not as a servant, not as a stranger, but as a teacher. My people must learn what you have shown me, that survival is not only of the body but of the spirit. The crowd thundered with approval. But behind them, hidden in the shadows, anger still festered. The elder doctor stood with a handful of counselors who shared his pride. If this continues, humans will be praised above us. Our authority will crumble, he muttered. Another whispered, Then what do we do? His eyes burned with hatred. We wait, and we strike when the moment is right. Inside the queen's chamber that night, the human sat quietly by her side once more. She looked stronger now, her breathing steady, her eyes bright with life. She studied him, her voice soft. Why do you help us? Why fight so hard for someone not of your kind? The human was silent for a long moment before answering. Because life is not only about our kind or yours. It is about refusing to let go when something precious can still be saved. Humans. We survive not because we are the strongest, but because we never stop trying. The queen listened carefully. His words were strange yet powerful. She had lived her whole life in a world where numbers ruled destiny. But this human had shown her that destiny could be defied. You speak of survival as if it is a flame, she said. He nodded. Yes, and every flame, no matter how small, can grow if someone shields it from the wind. She looked at him for a long moment, then whispered, Then you are the shield for my flame. The words carried weight, and though spoken softly, they changed everything. The days that followed were full of celebration. The people honored the queen's recovery with songs and feasts. They spoke of the human with awe, calling him the stubborn one, the life-bringer, the keeper of hope. But the human never sought their praise. He remained beside the queen, teaching her strength not of muscle but of will. He taught her how humans endure storms, how they cling to life through hunger, pain, and loss. And with each lesson, the queen grew stronger, not only in body but in spirit. The young healer became his student, eager to learn the ways of human persistence. Slowly, whispers spread that a new age was beginning, an age where willpower mattered as much as science. But not everyone celebrated. In hidden halls, the elder doctor and his allies sharpened their hatred. He threatens our order. He poisons our people with foolish faith, the doctor spat. One counselor asked nervously. What if he cannot be defeated? What if this is the future? The doctor's eyes narrowed. Then we will remind them humans are fragile. They bleed, they break, and when the right moment comes, so will he. One night, as the human looked out over the alien city, the queen joined him. Her voice was strong now, though still soft. You gave me life. But more than that, you gave my people hope. You must see it. The fear in some, the anger in others. They will not accept this easily. The human nodded. Hope is powerful, but it is also dangerous. Some will see it as light, others as fire that must be put out. She looked at him carefully. And you? What do you see? He smiled faintly. I see survival, and survival never comes without struggle. Be ready. This is only the beginning. The queen's eyes gleamed in the starlight. For the first time she felt not only alive but unafraid. The queen lived, her people rejoiced, and the human was honored as savior and teacher. But in the shadows, jealousy and hatred plotted revenge. The human had sparked a fire that could not be contained. And somewhere in the vast galaxy, others would soon ask, what else can humans do? The story was not over. It had only just begun.